Objective is to get the new E46 chassis prepped and ready to have a full cage welded into it tomorrow. Roof's already almost off. Yep. All right, it is the next day, or like a few hours later, and Marlon is here with Gustavo and his daughter Olivia, and we're all gonna be pretty much all hands on deck trying to get this car further along. Now, Marlon is saving the day because they're gonna do the full cage in what, like a day? Day and a half? We're gonna try for the day.
As much as we can do in a day and a half. Yes,
as much as we can do. You might remember him from his insane Mustang build that was on the Drift HQ channel. And at the Vibrant booth for SEMA, which is pretty freaking cool. So we've never worked on a project together.
No, it's the first time.
And I'm really excited to have them here. So thank you again for coming out, saving the day. And you were excited that it was a cage kits, right? So I feel like that was the only way to be super efficient. But we wanted, I think another piece that made this possible was it being a cage kits, right?
Yes, because it's every time if you do the neck car on this car is exactly the same, so it will be exactly the same, and you can save some of the parts that you used on that car to this one because it's the same, and it makes way easier. Like before, we did cages before, and it'd take us like 2-3 days. Right. Now, if you really get into it, you can do it in a couple hours, like just assembling the kit. So I love it.
There was 3 main pieces of making all this happen on an insane timeline. Number 1 was Marlon and Gustavo being willing to come out here and install a cage. Number 2 was finding a cage kits for an E46 coupe locally. And number 3 was finding the car. So all those 3 things came together, and we're gonna see how much progress we can make today. So let's get into it.
I am inspecting and replacing broken parts in the transmission, so that at least is done when it goes back together. First step is pulling off this shifter plate. The shifter's back here, but there's a plate with the forks in it here, which carries all the shifting rods, and got to get off that more bolt. Pretty much the easiest. This is how they make dump truck transmissions too, because it's the easiest. You take the whole shifter plate off of the top, and you can see all your gears, you can see all your synchros from the top. It's really serviceable. So that's my guess as well. The race transmissions are still built like that.
Will it be obvious when this plate comes off, like that something's wrong?
Depends on, probably not with the reverse. Like, so there's only can't remember which side it's on, but there's only like a little swing plate on the side of the transmission where this rod gets selected and moves for reverse. But I think the gate action happens in the shifter, so there's nothing painfully obvious in reverse. Probably gonna pull the shifter apart and inspect that. There's a reported problem where reverse goes into reverse, but it just doesn't. It's empty space. It doesn't feel like it's going into a zone. You know. So yeah, there goes that. It's not even a swing. Like here was a swing plate I was talking about, and that's what gets selected with reverse here. So there's no gate action here, and there is a tiny detent here. Oh. You're just acting out. Oh, that's not detenting. So maybe the spring in the ball in here is broken.
Okay.
So that could be what it is actually.
So it's just process of elimination.
Exactly.
All right, so you'll fix that first and then see what happens? Or?
Down to the basics of it, if you're having a problem at that issue, there's only like 3-4 parts of it. So just inspect them all, you know? Figure out what's well, that's some carnage there. There's something that went through it there at one point.
Can you point to it? What
this, so there's a lot of this, a lot of damage in between these teeth here, and it's not all of them, so that's
Definitely.
Are we engaged in? We are engaged in a gear, in multiple gears. Hold on. So yeah, something. It looks like something went through this gear, which would be, I think that's third.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I'll continue. they just take more apart. Oh, and it's full of fluid too. Alright, so remember what I was saying about the detent probably having an issue with the ball or something in here? Well, what you got is these 3 pieces here, and the let's pan over here real quick. This shaft, which I've taken it out, this shaft, it rides like this, and when you push this into reverse, it gates into here. So what was happening here was that this was all in here normally, there was nothing wrong with it. This is just loose. It was like, I don't know, two turns from coming all the way out when I came. I thought it was tight, and I put the socket in here, and it was just loose. So that's probably why she didn't feel the bump to reverse, because there's zero resistance on the ball to even feel the gate lock in. So that's probably the problem with that. And then now we got to figure out why all the metal's in the bottom of the case, and maybe we have another potential problem because we do have some metal shards in it, and that's not good. That's not good. I don't know.
Let's see.
It's not good. It's normal sometimes, but it's not good.
Also, dude, wait, you were telling me you were on Kazuya's team for his whole career. So can you tell the people about that? And how you have so much knowledge about transmissions? Like, what's your story here?
I know about cars my whole life. My dad's owned a shop since I was a kid, so I've been working on cars since I was like 8 years old. And then I got a job working for Achilles in 2015 for Robbie Nishida. And I was his crew chief for like the last 2 years of his season. And then Jerry Yang took over Robbie's team. And then Jerry already had his own team. But he took over Robbie's team, and then it flowered into Kazuya driving. And since I was already working with Jerry on Robbie's team, he just, it was just kind of organic. Since 2015 to 2023 mid-season, I worked as a professional crew chief for Kazuya and Robbie Nishida, and I got to do all this stuff every event. I bench press this after every practice session. We put a clutch in it, so I have to G-force out, G-force in, and then we pull it out at the probably like once an event. We had to switch out one. So this is easy stuff. This is really, it looks daunting, but this is all like the simplest of. You don't need pullers, you don't need presses, you don't need tools, you don't need crazy stuff. This stuff all falls together pretty much. So yeah, you just gotta put yourself through it. That's how I know pretty much. I'm gonna see what she wants to replace, because it really looks like third gear on the counter shaft as well. We were showing you on the video the main shaft gear set for third, but the counter shaft gear set for third is even worse. So you can see all of the pitting there. I mean, some people would probably tell you that that's okay, but those are all points where you can start a crack. Any one of those points right there, you could break one of those teeth off, and I've actually seen it happen. So.
All right, I'm new to this. What happened if one of those would have been?
Well, this breaks off, and then you can imagine that all of this stuff kind of looks like a meat grinder. Okay. So if it breaks off the one tooth and it goes through, it's gonna break off 9 teeth off of this, 10 teeth off, and then throw those into the next gear set and break all those teeth off, and then the next, you're gonna end up with a mashed potato slush in your transmission when you pull it apart.
So that could be catastrophic.
Yeah, it could totally be. I mean, you could get lucky and it misses it too. It misses the entire gear set and falls to the bottom. But you could also not be lucky.
Yep.
And the not be lucky is expensive on these, so.
While the music's off, dude, you guys are cooking.
Yeah. Almost.
This is like record speed, dude.
It's almost here. Must celebrate too much yet, but it's working pretty good.
How are you so fast at this? How many cages do you put in?
I don't know.
Oh.
No idea. We did some. It's not that many. But we suffered in the first one, then like the second one is always easier. Mm-hmm. And their stuff is pretty good, so it works. It only fits where it's supposed to fit. If not, it won't go there. So it's
all right.
see, like this one. Look at that.
Puzzle.
It goes right where it's supposed to go.
Okay, so this is, you know, just big giant puzzle pieces. So they plasma cut it off the rear of that car, and we want to save time and did it over here. So what are you looking at right now, and what challenges are you having to overcome?
It's something very, very simple, that part, but because we want to save that one and use this one, I'm just trying to figure out how far in they put it. And there is, because they overlapped it, so there's no way that I can kind of have idea. We're going by the edge here of that, on that car to this, so we try not to cut too much, because then we're gonna have to weld it back.
And each side is different.
Yes.
Each side on here is like,
It looks different than the other side, and this we left a little bit just so we can play with them. But now we're gonna have to figure out, because if it's too far out, it bothers the bumper. And if it's too far in, it won't do nothing, but it's better if it goes the right way.
yeah. Awesome. Well, just putting puzzle pieces together.
Yes.
It's the same. It's the same. It's a puzzle.
Yes. That puzzle piece was a little less challenging than this one.
Yeah.
And this is supposed to be the easy one.
Well, it's looking great. It's looking fantastic.
It'll be all right. In a little bit. Cage is in, the back end is going in a bit. Doing good. Can't complain.
Good work.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate
Legend.
it. No legend.
Yeah, right. He's humble. He's humble.
This is actually my daughter, my oldest daughter, Livia.
Hi. Today was very fun. New experiences.
New experience. Look at that. How about that?
All right, so it's the next day.
Yep.
What have you already done this morning, Eric?
I pulled out the old fuel cell bracket, trans tunnel bracket, cool suit bracket, battery tray bracket. Now I'm about to take off fenders and all the odds and ends stuff out of this car, so the media blasting guy can have at it when he gets here. Where the subframe mounts is cracked, very typical in E46, and this one has definitely got a big crack in it, so we're gonna have to get the oversized plates because it goes all the way up to there, down.
A crack that small will really make a big difference.
With the horsepower that we run, it'll end up ripping all this and cracking everything, so do it now and hopefully no more issues.
So what do you do about it?
We have to get bigger plates. So this plate only goes that much. So they sell a bigger plate, an oversized plate that will go further up and take more of the load off of the body so it doesn't crack anymore.
So wait, those of you that don't know, Eric works, where do you work? What do you do, Eric?
I work at Precision Sport Industries. I work on a whole bunch of BMWs. We are very popular with doing subframe reinforcement. Probably in the last 2 months we've done 9. We have 3 at the shop right now. 2 are torn apart and 1 is waiting.
Okay.
So
you're super freaking educated on these units.
yeah, this is a very common thing. Yeah, it's a very, very big weak point in these cars. So we'll get it fixed.
This is the chef POV. Yeah, throw it all in there. That looks crazy. Yeah, Collete.
Alright, I am so pumped because today we're going to be dustless sandblasting, I think is the proper term, the car. And this is something that obviously we're on a really tight timeline, so I was accepting that this might not be possible, but if my plan is to steel it the car, in order for the steel it to actually be useful, we gotta remove like the factory paint on the car. So originally I was like, we'll have to rush, put it together, and then after St. Louis, maybe tear it all down, sandblast it, do it the right way. But homeboy, Randy Cook, local, mobile, wet, dustless blasting guy is coming out here today. They're already here, and they're gonna shoot it right here at the compound so that when I actually go to paint it, it's its final paint job, and then we can have a really, really satisfactory final assembly. So that's what's going on. I am super excited. It's Monday. They came over here first thing, and we're gonna get started. Well, so this is dustless blasting, but there's still sand, obviously, right? But it's just
Right.
with water, there's less dust.
Well, I mean, if you want us to wet blast, we can, but...
Oh, there's no water?
Well, if you're in enclosed areas, you want to do water, but it's messy.
Mm-hmm.
So, as long as you do a standoff and a low PSI, we don't have to use water, but it gets... all the muck will get up inside the car. It's really hard to get the stuff out, so better just to go really low PSI, stand off and take your time with it. But there's really not that much dust.
And what type of media are we using?
It's crushed glass, clean bite, so it's medium. Kind of the workhorse of the industry.
Nice.
Yeah.
How many pounds of it do you guys use, you think, for a
That
car?
takes 200 pounds. Usually pot lasts about an hour.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And how many hours does this car take?
We're gonna have the media really, really low.
Yeah.
So not much media is coming out, not much PSI. This would probably last us about an hour and a half doing it that way. How long will it take? I'd say probably about 2 hours to do it right. I mean, we'll do a test blast. We'll just hit right here from a standoff. We'll do this spot right here.
Yep.
And then we'll back off, get the hose out of the way, you inspect it, and if that's what you want, if you want us to go deeper, we can. If you want us to stand off a little bit more, we can, but...
Okay. And then what's the name of your business? Because one, this is really cool. We're on such a tight timeline, like we can't go anywhere. So you have a mobile business where they come to you, which is really incredible. So how could anyone find you?
Platinum Media Blasting. So we do Central Florida, but we travel. This was an hour drive. Yeah. We'll travel probably up to about 2.5 hours. We'll go to Cape Canaveral if any boats blasted or anything like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll go anywhere
So
where
we're
the
excited.
money takes us.
All
If it's a
right.
paying job, we're showing up.
We're
They'll
showing
be
up.
there.
We're going to Tampa if they need us.
Well, thank you guys. I'm excited. It's Florida, so it's about to rain, so we moved the car underneath a little cover area to finish the job. They're fully done with the inside and it looks great, done with the engine bay. I'm just gonna find like a few more spots to hit, and now they're gonna start working underneath the car. So we're definitely gonna focus more on like the rear end, like where the subframe mounts to in that area, because that's where sometimes you find more cracks or like fixes that you end up having to do throughout the year or after events that are crazy. So we're gonna do that so that when I actually do paint it with Steel It, it is usable Steel It if we have to do like a quick trackside fix.
Sand everywhere, like literally I put air in a hole, sand goes that way. Put air in the other hole, sand goes that way. Look, this was just clean. Look at it, look at the floor now.
Well.
I blow the sand that way, then I blow the sand the other way, and then that way again, and it keeps getting tossed back and forth. Rather kind of mount it up and vacuum it, and then keep mounting it and vacuum it.